Hi, Kristin. Welcome to ELD Talkies.
Thank you so much. It's nice to be here. Wonderful to chat with you.
Likewise, why don't you introduce yourself to everybody who's listening to us?
Well, my name is Kristin, and I run Kristin Banta events. We're located in Los Angeles, but we work globally. We specialize in both corporate and social, and we are essentially both a production firm and a design house.
And what is it that is keeping you up right now with the current scenario, with everything being shut? What is it that keeps you busy right now?
Well, I think that we're all in a position where we're really trying to look at what events will be. There's a lot of
Right,
things that we don't know,
right,
but trying to determine ways in which we can still harness the connections from what we get from events and figuring out a new way that that can be delivered is really, I think, the majority of
that's
our
the
time
biggest
spent.
challenge right now, no? Like,
Yeah.
what next? So, what is the environment right now there in LA with so many things happening? Apart even from the COVID, there's so many other political agendas. The whole George Floyd thing. How are people coping up there in the current environment?
Well, it's a very tense time. There's a lot of unrest. There's a lot of angst. I think that there's still hope, and
Right,
from where I stand, I am really trying to hold on to the hope and look at this phase that's happening now as an opportunity for a reset. But it's
right.
it's certainly, I think, a very confusing and challenging time for everyone,
Because
and
nobody
certainly
knows currently, what is the how long do we have the reset button pressed, right? Like when do we resume?
exactly, yeah. And that's hard. I think that's hard for any of us where we're kind of just in a pause mode right now.
Right.
There's nothing that we can necessarily do until we start to get more information and determine what will be mandated, what is allowed, what will be acceptable
Right.
in keeping people safe, but in hopefully getting back to normal. And from our industry, I think we're going to be the last that really returns to normalcy.
Yeah, because that's their last priority to celebrate. But if you think of it, like everybody is just logging their ass just to celebrate and live life, and that's what they are earning every day for, not for the breads that they eat. So I don't know why we
Yeah.
come in the end.
Well, I think when we finally do get back to a place where we can have events and we can get people together in a room,
Right.
because we've been so disconnected and because many of us will continue to work remotely, I think there'll be a tremendous need to get together and a huge necessity to actually connect and to celebrate. And so I think that events eventually will become more important than
More
ever.
important.
But
You're
right
right.
now, we just have to wait.
Like how they're calling it being a luxury to have a human interaction at the moment. All we can
Yes,
do is,
absolutely.
yeah. So we never thought that would be called a luxury. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And with all the experience and the spectacular events that you've hosted, and just tell all of us out here who are listening to you, all the other event planners also, that how do you do it? The
In terms of design and planning,
Yes.
you know, the single most important thing that I could communicate to anyone is to determine what your unique point of view is.
Right.
Uh, because I think that if we can have a unique point of view as creatives, as artists, that's what really gives value to our brands and gives value to the work that we put out. And that takes taking risks in order to do that.
Right.
And it
Like
certainly
having an
means
experimental attitude to the whole concept, right? Because it would be a first time. When you do something first time, you have to experiment.
yeah, absolutely. And we constantly are in a position of needing to reinvent as well.
Right. And what is the current state like in LA? Like, are the social gatherings, there's a size cap? How is it over there right now with the government?
We don't know just yet because Los Angeles just literally is in its first phase of reopening.
Okay.
Restaurants are reopening. The rules are a little bit different. There is definitely smaller attendance counts that restaurants can actually host.
Okay.
Tables are spread further apart.
Okay.
Groups are definitely being diminished. There are certain regulations in terms of interacting with service and servers with masks, but the
Right.
groups themselves can be without masks.
Okay.
And we're still just trying to figure out what does that look like, because this is brand new for all of us. I mean, I think for many of us, we don't even know, should we be going to the restaurants? There's kind
Yeah.
of this
There's a fear in
weird sort of
everyone, no? There's
confusion.
a yeah, and there's a fear that is it even required? You know, you get that question: is it even required?
And nobody really knows.
Yeah.
There's kind of mass confusion on even how many people can be in a room and what is appropriate. And I think that there's a tremendous lack of clarity right now.
Do you think in the current environment, like once the things get a little better, is would it be more advisable to host a destination wedding in a countryside with lesser number of people? As they say, the cases are lesser in the countryside than the main cities every across the globe. So, what's your opinion on that?
Well, you're certainly correct in that certain areas are less affected than others. If we are thinking about hosting in areas where there is less congestion,
Right,
obviously there's going to be a greater comfort level in hosting those events.
right,
The challenge really will become the comfort level on traveling. And that's what we're going to be faced with, is sort of that next phase. It's
mm,
wonderful if we can finally figure out how to host again, but it's another thing when we have people coming in from other areas
mm.
and determining whether or not those people will actually take the trip.
Like a lot of people are saying that maybe we'll do a chartered or something like that, you know, a chartered plane or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So those are also the ideas which are cropping up, that why not do that for a client who wants to spend that X amount of money, why not? But even having said that, one still has to have a touch point at the airport, and you know all those things would still be in a charter. So how do you think that, how welcome is that suggestion?
Which tradition specifically? Can you repeat the question?
I'm saying that a lot of people are saying that you can take a chartered, you know, a chartered plane
Mm-hmm.
to any destination. Then why not we do that in case they want to spend that kind of money? So I'm asking you that, do you think even still we'll still have to have a touch point with the airports, right? So how
Mm-hmm.
safe would that be even if we do a charter?
I don't think we know the answer to that yet. I think it's definitely something that will be explored. That certainly is a smaller group that can actually take advantage of that.
Right.
That's going to be a smaller sector of the population that can actually act on that.
Hmm.
But I think it's difficult to yet know if that's something that group might take advantage of, because we don't yet know what things look like yet. And I think the biggest fear right now is whether or not there's going to be sort of that second wave.
Yeah, the
Uh,
second wave is something everybody is talking about. So it's
yeah.
the same opinion there as well, is it?
Yeah, and I think for us here in many states, especially California, where there have been large protests,
Hmm.
though many have been wearing masks, I think there's also a little bit of a wait and see to determine if there's any negative repercussions of that lack of social distancing.
Hmm. Hmm.
So we'll see.
And how do you? What is the one message you would like to give everybody to keep everything positive, and so that we can move ahead, you know, and think that we'll celebrate again, that all of us are together in this. What is the kind of message you would like to give everybody?
Honestly, though, this has been challenging for everyone, and this has left many of us in positions of tremendous conflict and a place of reevaluating
Right.
some, for some of us our entire lives. The great thing, I think, on the other side of this will be that we have a deeper appreciation, understanding of each other,
Right.
and a more depthful look at who we are as individuals and what our footprint is.
Right.
And I think that will put us in a better place for the future.
Thank you so much, Kristin, for your time and your
Thank you.
talks, your messages. I hope they really help everybody moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's so nice to see you.
Lovely.
All
Bye.
right, take care.